I'm super excited for restart this interview with you guys. It's been a great journey so far. I am so thrilled with this new book, not just because it's the 10th anniversary of the Wellness Universe, but also that you're sharing so deep stories and so many. I feel like it's simple tools, but it can make a profound difference in your lives, right? How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very exciting. I love the collaboration and I love the depth of the tools, and it's really for anyone.
How
It's a
about
great,
you, Helen?
yeah, it's a great resource and a great way to start the new year for people from the
Amazing.
experts.
Yeah, so pretty much I would like you to guys to introduce yourselves and to explain how you work in the corporation, how people can be connect with them, and then you go dive in into your chapter for the book. Can start with
Sure.
you, Kristen.
Okay, sure. So I am a holistic life and business strategist, and I use a lot of energy practices, mindset work, but also some traditional strategic corporate um, tools as well. I primarily work with women entrepreneurs, often in the wellness space, but I also offer general workshops that uses those tools in a way that anybody can apply them for whatever is going on in their lives too.
And Kristen, in your work, I feel like you have also this connection since you're saying women's entrepreneurship, like stress management, right? And
Yeah.
life work balance.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think that you can separate work and life. You're an entrepreneur or whether you're in the corporate scene, it all comes together. The work affects your life affects your work. So you can't really segment it in the way I think we used to look at it, like work-life balance. It's just overall balance, living by your values and your intention.
Amazing. How about you, Helen?
Yeah, so as you know, I own my own
Yeah.
consulting business. It focuses on seniors and managing late life care challenges and offering them solutions. And I find myself working a lot, not just with the seniors, but the adult children, because they are taking so much responsibility and a caregiving role to their parents. And I found myself coaching the adult children in wellness. And for me, exercise is such a key element and part of my life and who I am. So that's really why I wanted to write this chapter in this book, um, because of all the lessons that I've learned from exercise and the challenges and how it's helped me overcome so many difficulties in my life that it's priceless. And so I really want to share my story with others and help people get started for the new year on their own personal journey with exercise.
Yeah. And I can't believe you started your career, your experience in this field in 1992. So you were a baby, pretty much. You were born being like a holistic therapist. How that's possible? Is this face?
Exercise, like I said, I truly do believe you can age gracefully if
Yeah,
you exercise. I mean, I am like a gym rat. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
know.
I'm at the gym at least 6 days a week, sometimes
I
seven.
can relate.
Same.
Yeah, it's just like longevity, right? You're saying, and it's like you do daily basis routine, like brush your teeth and drink water and eat, pretty much like something that your body needs. Like I love to say that our body was made for the movement. Sometimes it's our mind that is trying to stop us and say, "I don't have time." But are you prioritizing yourself, right?
You have to
Yes.
if you want to preserve yourself and for stress management, for so many other reasons other than just, weight loss or fitting in our clothes. Of course, that's important, but there's so many other benefits that I think people don't realize. And, when you start exercising, you hydrate more, you're drinking more water. Water is so important for our brain function um, as well. So there's just so many extra benefits.
Not to mention the endorphins, the dopamine, like the hormones that you deliver, they release in your body and make me feel better and more proactive and more feeling like you're feeling like more energy, you know.
Energetic, right?
Energetic, yes. So I feel like you guys have in common this part of stress management, both working with women. Do you believe like nowadays women are more exposed to this stress as they have so many journeys, like take care of the family, career, and being a wife, for instance? But also I feel like it's not a gender thing, but I feel like women is looking for more about this spirituality journey. Uh, how do you feel about that when you come and you attend people? Do you feel that this is actually the way it's happening right now, or just like maybe something that I am like as I interview people, I acknowledge more that there is something more than women that looking for more and taking care of them as well.
Yeah, well, I'll start with that. I think a couple of things. I think it's always been traditionally and stereotypically on the woman's shoulders to like, to shoulder the burden of a lot of the household management. And even when you've got a great partner who also helps, it it always to like just sort of rest on shoulders. And now I think that hasn't changed dramatically, but what I think has changed is the awareness, and women are realizing that they need that there is this other desire and need to cultivate community, to incorporate mindfulness practices, to get to the gym. They're realizing that has to also be on the list, which makes the list a lot longer and more crowded for the typical woman, I think. But I think there's an awareness that has come out over the last like, decade or so that this is a priority for us. And women are more likely, I feel, gravitate towards community. Women go to group exercise classes and things like that because they want to be in community. And that's one of the key aspects of support, I think, that every author in this book is really offering up.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right, Kristen. And you have to have such a, you can't be afraid to say no, I think. And women, sometimes I think they struggle with that. They want to be everything to everybody. And that's how you'll get burnout. So I think you have to really know your limits, know yourself, and protect yourself. And, you know, if you need help, I think this is also important, is to ask for help
Mm.
and not take it all on yourself, because I'm sure people have support systems, and if you ask for help, most likely you will get help. So don't be
Why
afraid.
is it so difficult for us women ask for help?
Good question.
I think that our society rewards being busy. And so if someone asks you, how are you? And you say, I'm crazy busy, that's like a badge of honor. And so it kind of instills the idea that you should be able to do it all without, and, and that's just simply not the case.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and also like I think show that we are humble, right? Instead of thinking like, oh, I don't need help, like you acknowledge that, okay, I cannot do this. It's like you're saying a combination, not ask for help plus not the ability of saying no. It's a very hard combination. Eventually, you're gonna have a burnout, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Well, as women, we tend to be, not all of us, but we tend to be people pleasers. And so saying yes and not asking for help is part of that makeup, I think.
It's like it's our script. But we're changing this, right? Like step by steps, like through generations, through the other girls that they already know about, like, no, I don't want to do this, and I don't have to do this if I don't want it. And it's totally okay and fine to ask for help. When more than that, the other person help and just know how to ask. And whenever you ask them, it's amazing how you see like you're maybe surrounded by people that was just waiting for you to ask.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Do
Think of
you feel like
how
this?
good you feel when you give someone help, and it's like a reward to you. So for help, we're also depriving someone else from that joy of helping.
Yeah, because it can be like really hard for, like, for instance, if we're saying about men, sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm not gonna go there because she does not need me. I'm gonna stay here, and then if she wants, because it might feel like, oh, like putting eggshells, or am I capable enough to do this? Because as you're saying, we were teaching through our lives that we have to do everything and have to be done perfectly or the best way ever. So you put so much effort. I can tell by, like, for instance, my mom, she's like always doing things all the time. And sometimes like, oh no, I can do this. And they, no, my father is willing to help you. It's just a matter for you ask, but sometimes she wants him to say, do you need help? And offering, instead. But it's at the end of the day, the result is what really matters. Like, we will receive your help that you wanted. So what's the matter if you ask or if somebody offer you? What's the difference?
Mm.
Do you feel like you have the between generations, the difference when you compare the people that you attend, like in the sessions?
Yeah, I think there is definitely a generational difference. I think women now are finding their voice at a younger age than perhaps like my mother's generation or my grandmother's generation, where there was a certain expectation of them. And now we've got a lot of great role models, and we've got resources, and we've got things like the Wellness Universe collection of books that are showing the way that you can have a voice. And I think that is what has shifted from prior generations. I think even my generation is like in that we're like on the, like, we're still, a lot of people I think in my generation are still finding their way to like ask help and say no and set boundaries. And boundaries is getting like really trendy. Kind of talk about that, but I think it's really.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Jana is saying yes. She's confirming what he's saying. What about you, Ellen?
Yeah, I feel like the younger generation, they think it seems like they split things more evenly than my generation. Like there's an even split, and I feel like the older generation, it was all on the woman or the female in the house to do everything, but this generation seems like it's mostly split half and half, and it's just accepted. It's just the way it is. So this is my observation.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, I think that's why your jobs here, it's so important, and not to mention the Wellness Universe as a legacy, right? Because you guys are open a different path for the generation that's coming. So because you going through that and you didn't accept, because like, I don't want to do this. I want to make the difference, and I want to support people, help people to acknowledge that they can change your lives. Like, our past does not have to say every time what you have to do. Like, you can change your options, your the way you want to live your life. You're not like with your hands tied because you leave that in the past. It's about a movement, and you're changing, you're experiencing. And so, like, diving in right now in the book, like, it's exactly what I'm saying. Like, the legacy you guys are delivering to people, treasure in our hands. How do you feel like this about this, Helen?
Oh, sorry. I didn't hear the last part because I think you got cut off the audio.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah,
I was
it's
saying
separating.
about, yeah.
Um, yeah, it's for every age this book is appropriate for, and that's what makes it so special. Um, Everybody can learn from this incredible group of talented authors and experts. There's something in it for everybody. So that's what makes me super excited to be part of this wellness universe in the book.
Amazing.
Yeah, I often think when I look at all the role models out now and the resources and groups like the Wellness Universe and books, that I think, wow, I wish I had that 40 years ago. like not a thing. It was not talked about. There was not, a conversation or attention given to it. And I think how fortunate the sort of the newest generation coming in is lucky to have all this. And it's never too late. It doesn't matter what age you are to start adapting some new habits or routines or rituals into your life to enrich your life. And in the book, for example, no matter what generation you're coming from.
I love that every generation, gender, as long as you're a human being, you're able to read it, and that would make a difference in your life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go diving in your chapters. Like I would like Kristen you to talk a little bit about your chapter, what you're sharing, the stories, and maybe you can share two that you are putting in the book. We don't want to like, it's kind of a spoiler, but so people get to know more about the book.
Awesome. Yeah. So my chapter is about living from your values. And when you live from your values, you can create a life that's truly authentic to you, because you may have top values that are not as important to me, and we're all human. And so I shared a story about a time in my life where I had a lot of unexpected things happen in a row, starting out on 9/11. It was sort of where I start my story in this book, which was definitely a turning point for me. Time to stop and reflect, like, what is it that I really want in my life? Am I living a life that is what my parents expected of me, to, climbing the corporate ladder, or is it what I want in my heart? So that was an important uh, incident in my life that stopped the world, literally stopped the world in a lot of respects, and got me to reflect on where I'm going. So, and then a few things happened right after that to really lead me to go down a different path. So it took me out of the world into the entrepreneurial world full time. And so my tool is really all about getting clear on those and then shaping your life around them, not just having them in a journal, but living by them, which is the key part. Many of us have taken workshops where we figured out values and then they just kind of collected dust in a pile. About how do we apply it to our life. So I don't know if that was enough without saying too much.
Putting practice, you're saying.
What's that?
Putting practice what you've been learning,
Yes.
right?
Yep. Exactly.
Love it. Amazing. How about you, Helen?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Kristen, I really enjoyed reading your chapter. I thought it was really very well done. So.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Likewise.
Yeah, so basically, my chapter is a little bit about my story that didn't really grow up in an environment that promoted any kind of team sports or exercise. So I really didn't experience that until I was probably 21, 22, when exercise was introduced in my life. And I just had a lot of, like everybody else has some hardships, losing people that they love in their family through death. And my mom had breast cancer, and just being her support person and helping her through that. And really, exercise was there for me during all my, devastating life events. And so I just really wrote about different incidences that had happened, and then, my strategies about how I can help others start their exercise journey. And, you know, it's just really about making a plan and, journaling, doing some things like that. It's very simple, but I think the hardest part is getting started. So I want to help people get started, and most importantly, be consistent and stick with the plan. So just a little bit in a nutshell about my
And
chapter.
when you say, how do you think like it's, of course, people have different reasons, but how do you feel like the main reasons people have the difficulties to start exercising?
I I think it's time consuming.
Hmm.
You have to fit it in your life. And a lot of times I don't know if people really find the value because they don't give it enough time to really try it. It is a lifetime commitment if you want to stay healthy. So, I think there are some of the reasons. It's not easy, right? It's hard work.
Yeah. For me, when I first started, like I'm just like you, or like a gym rat. I put like goals that was achievable. Like for instance, I know that my routine is crazy, so I was like, instead of no, I'm gonna go every day. And I said, okay, I'm gonna start twice a week, because right now that's what I can do. And then eventually, when I see like the difference in my body, of course, you have to say that we like to have be in shape, right? But also like I feel like okay, right now I'm feeling more motivated and I'm feeling more creative, and my mind like boom, like it's like a opened a part
Mm.
of my brain that was like so stuck. As you're saying, in our daily basis, sometimes you cannot see nothing around as the obstacles because you're so into the situation. And I feel like the exercise worked as a therapy for me. And also like, okay, I can do that. And then eventually I'm doing like every day as automatic. It's something that I just cannot do it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when it becomes part of the fabric of your life, you can't imagine not doing it. So you are past that point where you have to figure out is this worth making time or is it giving me benefits? I feel like I can't imagine not exercising. It just like doesn't compute for me. I think some of that is finding things that you love and then also reframing what it has to look like. It does not have to look like an hour in the gym. There are so movement into your day that I'm sure you can speak to, that it doesn't have to look like sometimes we think it is. Like I remember thinking, oh, unless it's an hour, it doesn't count, but that's not true anymore.
Yeah.
No, just moving your body. You could get out, take a walk in nature. There's just so many ways you can do it. It doesn't have to necessarily be the gym.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the gym. It's for me getting there, putting my phone in the locker, closing the door for an hour and having that. That's like my time. And that's when the creative juices start flowing and
Mm.
um, make my business plans and all
Amazing.
that good.
I like to say that there is a sentence that better done than perfect. And I'm saying better done than not done, right? You did the best you could on that day.
Yeah.
And not to make sure that you can also be like an inspiration for the others, right? Like we have in the book as well, not your amazing authors, but you have the inspirational people that share their stories as well. So like when you have like this kind of lifestyle, you can inspire the others. And right now through social media, even more because people can see your routine or what you share and say, oh, if that's possible for Claudia, for Helen, for Kristen, it might be possible for me as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're the proof, right?
That's right.
You're
That's right.
amazing. So we are so excited for this new book, 25 Tools for Life. We'll be releasing on the January 22nd. And also people can have the others in Amazon as well. We know that it's not exactly a sequence, as I love to say, it's like an oracle for me. I love to have the book and say, okay, right now I need to, let me see what this book has for me, the universe has for me today. And I'm super excited to have in my hands because I love PDFs, but I love to hold the books. Like right now, I'm holding the 25 Two for Goddess. I love to hold, I think like they're precious, it's special. And I just want to ask you girls to share some inspirational thoughts or sentence for them to start their year because it's like just like their year is just starting. We've been through some hard times like what happened in LA. We are got sad about everything, but still we can hold on and learn something through this hard moment.
So you only have one life, so make it your best life.
Love it.
I love that. Yeah. Consistency can come in a lot of forms. So just keep moving.
Love that.
Amazing. Love it. Oh, I could stay here forever talking with you, but I know you guys are so busy, so I really and 2 days from now we'll be live again with the other authors. So thank you so much for you guys, Alan and Kristen, and everybody, we're so excited for the launch for 25 Tools for Life.
Wonderful. Thanks for
Thank you. Bye.